Acheron River cuts a deep, jade-green path through the steep cliffs of Epirus. For centuries, the ancients looked at these murky waters and saw the physical gateway to the underworld, the literal river where Charon ferried the dead. Today, modern archaeologists and historians stand at the banks of this river divided. They are trying to solve a decades-old mystery. Is the ruin on the hill the legendary Oracle of the Dead, or a pragmatic military outpost? In 1958, excavator Sotirios Dakaris boldly claimed he had found Homer's gate to Hades. Modern scholarship points to something much more grounded, a fortified Hellenistic farmstead burned to the ground by the Romans in 167 BCE. Looking past the ruins and the myths reveals a different possibility. The physical evidence suggests the Nekromanteion functioned as a calibrated system, a multidisciplinary machine designed to blur the line between reality and the underworld. Atop a low hill, sitting squarely beneath an 18th century bell tower of a Christian monastery, are the remains of the Nekromanteion. The architecture here is intensely defensive. The exterior features massive polygonal masonry up to 3.3 meters thick, and the eastern entrance was once sealed by a heavily reinforced iron gate. When grieving, desperate pilgrims arrived to speak to their lost loved ones, the priests did not grant them immediate access. Instead, they locked them inside the western annex, enforcing a strict physical quarantine that lasted up to a full lunar month. This prolonged physical isolation served a specific purpose. It was the crucial first step in a synchronized system of extreme sensory deprivation. Following their quarantine, pilgrims were led into the labyrinth. Dakaris believed this dark, meandering corridor was designed to physically simulate the terrifying, winding descent into Hades. Skeptics note that these tight turns and multiple reinforced gates are standard defensive features, engineered precisely to stop the forward momentum of a Roman battering ram. Yet the geography adds instability to the structure. This region sits on active fault lines and deep sedimentary deposits of the Pindus mountain range. Through this volatile, pitch-black corridor, the priests guided the pilgrims. They forced them to perform repetitive animal sacrifices and pour heavy libations of honey, milk, and blood into the soil. By the time a pilgrim navigated the tight corridors, the darkness, and the ritual bloodletting, their cognitive mapping of the physical world was destroyed. Their minds were primed for the next phase of the attack. Deep inside the side chambers off the labyrinth, archaeologists uncovered massive, shattered clay storage jars known as pithoi. While a military historian might see a simple stockpile of agricultural fodder, the organic residue left inside these jars reveals a highly specific neurotoxic diet. The priests fed the pilgrims raw broadbeans, or vicia faba. For populations with a common inherited blood disorder, consuming these triggers a severe hemolytic crisis. The pilgrims' red blood cells would physically rupture and fragment. This sudden destruction causes acute anemia and systemic hypoxia, starving the brain of essential oxygen. The diet included a secondary poison. The jars also held bitter lupines. When ingested without proper debittering, these plants deliver high doses of toxic alkaloids. This induces an acute anticholinergic toxidrome. One of its primary physiological symptoms is bilateral mydriasis, extreme pupil dilation that paralyzes the eye's ability to focus or regulate incoming light. Combine an oxygen-starved brain with pupils blown wide open in a dark, smoke-filled corridor. Under these biological conditions, the simple flickering shadows of an lamp warp into shifting, terrifying apparitions. The physiological assault was amplified by the Earth itself. Deep below the structure, magmatic sulfur dioxide interacts with water-saturated rock, venting volatile hydrogen sulfide gas up into the ruins. Inhaling these fumes causes hypercapnic visual distortion and severe vertigo. The priests utilized this toxic venting, framing it to the pilgrims as the literal intoxicating breath of the underworld. As the drugged and suffocating pilgrims stumbled down a narrow stone staircase, they entered the central, rock-cut crypt. Immediately, every ambient sound in the environment drops dead. 15 semicircular arches of highly porous limestone instantly absorb and scatter acoustic energy. This chart of modern acoustic data shows an exceptionally low reverberation time of just 0.3 to 0.4 seconds. The ancient crypt functions almost identically to a modern anechoic chamber. Without the natural reflections of sound bouncing off walls, the human brain loses its ability to locate where a noise is coming from. If a hidden priest whispered into this void, the voice would lack all directional cues, sounding to the pilgrim as if the earth itself was speaking. Buried in the dirt of this silent crypt, archaeologists uncovered a series of heavy bronze wheels, ratchets, and thick iron rivets. Skeptics argue these metal fragments are simply modioli, standard washers left behind from Hellenistic torsion catapults when the site operated as an active military garrison. But those same components perfectly match the mechanics of an ancient aorema, a massive theatrical hoist used in Greek drama to lower actors from above. Imagine a priest, draped in black, suspended by this invisible crane. Lowered silently from the vaulted ceiling through the rising sulfurous gas, they would appear to the pilgrim as a weightless spirit returning from the dead. This hovering specter was the climax of a month-long operation. It was the precise moment where spatial disorientation, chemical toxicity, and acoustic manipulation converged into one horrifying illusion. Any modern team mapping this space has to scramble back up the narrow stairwell, retreating from tectonic gases to breathe the clean air above. Standing back in the daylight, the question remains, was the Nekromanteion a heavily fortified Roman target, or the most deceptive theater of the ancient world? Regardless of its original architectural intent, the evidence reveals a consistent logic. The operators of this site engineered an integrated system of psychological tamper. The priests did not need actual spirits to exact obedience. By weaponizing physical isolation, neurotoxic botany, and anechoic acoustics, they built a machine that manufactured ghosts inside the minds of the living.